All right. Any other replays you'd like to go over? If not, I was gonna make a game, and we're gonna kind of go over different scenarios when you're scouting a Terran.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I'd really enjoy that if we could do that, yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make.
So I'm gonna play you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna set up scenario stuff. Um, Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'll tell you kind of the point in the game it is,
Yeah.
and then I'll tell you to send your probe in for your obs in, identify what I'm doing, and then tell me what you think to do. And then after that, I'll tell you if you're right, you're wrong, or kind of explain.
Fantastic. This
If
sounds this
that.
sounds exactly what I need. Okay, just
All
tell
right.
me what to do. Yeah. So what do I
Okay,
do?
sure. I'm gonna invite you. I don't know. Are
Okay,
you?
let me just. I'm in the replay before. Hang on.
Oh, okay. That's why it's
Horrible,
giving.
horrible game that I had before.
Uh, no worries.
Do you know what? I problem with me is controlling aggression as well.
Really.
Well, when I lose, when I lose to like shit plays like that, where it was
Mhm.
random, and I don't mind it when I lose like a macro game and I get outplayed. It's like, well played, you did well there, mate. You outplayed me. But
Yeah.
when I get sort of cheesed or just I don't know, don't even get chance to get into the game and I'm dead. That's when I probably I get so annoyed that I think I'm guilty of quitting too early as well sometimes.
A little bit
GGing too early.
Idris syndrome.
What's that
it,
called? Sorry.
well, Idris, he's a he's like one of the best Zerg players from America. He's on Evil Geniuses
I
and
know
stuff.
it,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but he has a really bad he's gotten a little better now. But he has such a bad habit of when something doesn't go his way or he loses a battle, he'll just quit a game. He'll just quit a game. There's this famous game. I don't know if you know it. I'll have to I want to find the video and show it to you, but it was like one of the first MLGs. Idris playing MMA. It was kind of funny too, because like um, Idris doing quite well in the battle, and also MMA's like accidentally siege taking his like third base. So Idris Zergan, the MMA's Terran. So Idris was like winning the battle and something, and then also MMA like just siege tanked his third base and it's about to die, or his fourth base and it's about to die, and then you know MMA is cleaning up the mute up, but he only got like a handful of Marines, and Idris like 20 supply, and then all of a sudden you see GG, and
Really?
Idris left the and the Day9 and DJ Wheat were casting it, and just the reaction. I kind of want to find it, but
That's
I'll
that's
try to.
me. That's me. If I ever get there, that's me. I have got an aggressive streak in me. Like when I get annoyed with myself, I overreact. It's a bit like
Yeah.
overreacting to a banshee, a cloak banshee, when you've not prepared for it.
Yep.
It's like I hate myself. I deserve to lose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The 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 ones that used to get me a lot, because I would get pissed off too, is Nidus Worms. There's nothing worse than losing to a Nidus Worm, because
That at this level.
it's like I had him, and he's literally basing his entire strategy on me not scouting this Nidus Worm. And how bad is this guy? And I'm just like, I'm just baffled. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn from this, and it's
Do you think
part
it's
of the
fair
game.
to say that Protoss are not very good at harass? Like, compared to, when I say harass, like, compared to medevac drops, I read a thing the other day about Protoss not really being a harass kind of race. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that. I think that's one of our big weaknesses. We're extremely weak, at least in wings. We're extremely weak early on, so for us to do any type of aggression, we have to go all in. It's not like with Zerg or Terran, where like Terran can 2-rax you and expand behind it. If we're trying to do any type of aggression, early to mid game, we're either leaving ourselves open to a counterattack, or if they deflect it, um, we're dead. It's like four-gating and it fails. Well, what's your next? You don't have a next step because that was it. There's no tech. You have low prof count. So that's why in Heart of the Swarm, they're trying to give us more early to mid game harass options like the mothership core, and also having recall, so we can go across the map freely, and if shit gets a little crazy, we can just hit the recall button.
Recall's a great thing they brought in, isn't it? But then
Oh,
Vortex has gone, hasn't it, from the late game?
it is. It's gone, but I'm okay with that. I really am, because at the high levels, Vortex was, I mean, it was good if you could get it off, but the really good Zergs are either good with their Overlords, or good with their Broodlord spreading, or they're going to knurl your mothership, and that's just the worst feeling in the world. Not only, let's say you get your, because if he burns your vortexes or whatever, um, your mothership's basically like a useless supply flying in the air. I mean, yeah, it cloaks, but for the most part, it's just useless. But if he like turns the vortex against your army, oh, that's a terrible feeling. And again,
Really?
it's easy. Oh yeah, it's very easy for. I mean, I wouldn't say easy, but if your mothership's out of position and he can get that neural off, if he, I mean, if he just burns the vortex is bad, but if he like gets your army in the vortex, your heart kind of sinks. So I'm glad that unit's gone, because yes, it was strong for us, but also everything on the lake game hinged on that one unit. So if it died or it got disabled, we would just throw it
Yeah,
off.
but can't you upgrade the mothership core to a mothership?
You can, but it doesn't have that ability anymore. Oh, you there? Let me know. I thought I don't know if you're muted or you're out of the room, so I'll wait for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. What were we saying?
I'm saying that, is the mothership dead, basically?
Oh yeah, yeah. So you can still build it. So it still has the cloaking, but yeah, the mothership vortex is gone. So it basically just has the recall, and I think it has one other ability.
Well, obviously cloaking.
Yeah, the cloaking, but I think there's like one other actual ability on the mothership. I have to look. They had like vortex on where you could vortex like a non-massive unit. So I'm glad they took that off, because that was extremely useless. Um,
Which one?
oh here.
What was useless? Sorry.
Oh, in the beta they made it to where vortex couldn't vortex an area. It would vortex a single unit. So
One
it
unit.
yes, but it would kill the unit. But like, I mean, what's vortexing a stalk or the 22-minute mark really gonna do? So I'd have to see what they replaced that. But yeah, I was really dumb. I'm like, why is this
So what
ability?
have they done to combat the Broodlord Infestor imbalance in
That's
PvZ?
the Tempest.
Tempest. Okay. Is that sorted it out a little bit?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of Zergs don't even make them anymore. A lot of Zergs actually play more like Zergs rather than Protosses. Because I think the way Zerg played in Wings of Liberty was like a Protoss, where they mass a death ball and go push charge you, which doesn't really make sense, but Zerg could do that. But now they're being more swarm-like, making Hydras and like Infestors and Vipers, and just being very more active with their units and aggressive. And they're not really. I mean, some will still go Broodlord Infestor, but the Tempest is like almost like it's pretty much a hard counter to the Broodlord, because it doesn't really do good damage on the ground. It's like 33 damage on the ground, which seems good, but it's not really. Um, and then but it does like plus 60 or something to massive, so it like does 80 or 90 damage to your Broodlord at 15 range.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, here's that if you ever watch it, here was that there's that video with Idra and MMA.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool. Oh, what's that? Yeah. What, the
Yeah.
one where he rage quitted?
Yep.
Oh man.
Actually, just watch it. It's like just watch the first minute and a half. It's pretty funny.
Watch it.
And this just kind of illustrates the point. If you're ever unsure of where you stand in a game, just play it out.
Really? There it is. MMA. What
He
does
was trying
MMA stand for?
that's just his name.
Ah, okay.
But MMA stands for mixed martial arts. I think he used to do that in a previous job. So he killed his own commander, but Idra doesn't know that. At
Why
the
did
same
he do
time,
that? Why did he do that? What the
he was trying to kill the rocks, but he looked away, you know. But he
Oh my
played.
god. How old is this? Is this quite an old video?
Yeah, yeah, 2011.
Yeah, it looks quite old, yeah.
Yeah, it's on test mode. Oh, I had that map.
Did you tell me to skip to a minute or something, or?
Yeah, yeah, it's almost done. You'll see. Just one
Okay.
attack.
Can you hear it, can you? Fucking hell. Can't wait to see Daynan's. What? 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 Look at Day9.
Pretty funny. And
Why?
there's all. I know it's he's just his mindset's very toxic. His mindset is very toxic, and he has a very hard time taking punches and getting off the mat. So,
Oh,
I
what's that?
don't-
Yeah, go on.
but yeah, you can. And there's another like famous example where Idra was beating Huck, and then Huck does this last ditch effort and hallucinates a bunch of void rays, and
Yeah.
then attacks Idra, and Idra leaves the game.
What?
It's like one of the most famous like, and
Well, I
then
mean,
like you know
Idra is a world-class player, isn't he?
he is, but his anger gets to him, and he got a very toxic mindset. So if he thinks he's lost, or he'll just blame the imbalance of the game or leave the game. He doesn't. I think he's a little better now, but whenever he would take a lick on the nose, if you will, he'd quit.
How good is he? I mean, compared to other people.
um, I mean, he's definitely one of the top foreigners. Um, you know,
When I say foreigners, is that like non-American?
yeah, basically non-Korean. So that's a term we.
Non-Korean. Oh my.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a term that's been kind of coined in esports. Is if you're a foreigner, you're non-Korean.
What is it about
So,
Koreans? Why are Koreans so damn good? Why?
eh, it's just I don't know. They got the better infrastructure in Korea. I don't know if it really has to do with work ethic. I think they've just been set up for it better through Brood War, and
But I
more.
mean, they're human beings just like you and I.
Yeah.
What is it? I mean, is it because it's like, is it a national sport over there? Is it treated more seriously? Is that what it is, or?
It is. It is. Where like maybe in Europe or the States, there's not really infrastructure yet. So a lot of these
Okay.
players don't really play full time. They have to work or they have to do other. They can't really play full time for a chance at a couple tournaments. Where in Korea, they have infrastructure. They have team houses, and they have, I guess, more leagues or just leagues they can prepare for each month. And I don't know, it might be a culture thing too, because you might have you hear about the success stories of the Koreans, but then you also hear about the Koreans that were on the B team for 10 years and now they can't play StarCraft anymore and they have nothing to show for it. So I don't know. I think they're just a bit set up for it better, and then also it seems like that they might play a lot longer without any promise of pay. Where maybe
Really?
a foreigner, maybe like someone from UK or someone from States might play that for a certain period of time, but they're like, I can't do this anymore. I got to start working. I got to start making money. Where these guys, getting 25-year-old guys still living in the team house, just basically living off the team, practicing, hoping for their shot. But they
Really?
might never. Oh yeah, yeah. So
Fuck,
big.
it's almost wrong in a way. It's like unethical.
I agree. I agree. But that's just how it is. So a lot, some of the Koreans do get big, but also there's some of the Koreans that, you know, are like 28 years old and have to quit and go be a cashier somewhere because they don't really have any. So, um, yeah, I think it's a mixture between infrastructure, maybe a cultural thing as well. But they're just better. I mean, we do have
He's a
some.
Korea, like, I mean, you think about like China and Japan and places like that. Like, why Korea? What is it about Korea? Why have these other like Eastern countries not are not the same? What is it about Korea? I don't know. It's weird.
It it was, I don't know. It's just StarCraft Brood War picked up really big in that country, so they kind of had the infrastructure in place where the other countries now they're starting, or they're running more tournaments and stuff, but it's just been such a big thing in Korea for so long. So
Do you think eventually it'll even out and eventually it'll be kind of even over all different
I
countries?
think, oh, if there are leagues for Europeans or people from the North American scene to play in, there could be more talent and more reason to play full time. Because I mean, I used to play full time, but I
Did you?
can't anymore. It's very hard, because you're literally training for a shot at a tournament maybe once every 2 or 3 months, and that's you know. The only reason I was able to do it so long is because I coach, and I still play competitively, but I don't really play professionally anymore. I can still compete with professionals, but I can't go to tournaments because I can't really, there's not really a lot of tournaments for me to play in. So, I mean, I
Mm,
could play with the Koreans, but I'm probably not going to win money there.
mm,
So it's
mm.
very hard for a player, maybe a mid-level foreigner like myself, or mid to high-level foreigner, to, I guess, justify playing 12 hours a day for no
Is that how
pay.
long they play? 12 hours a day?
Yeah, 8 to 12 hours a day.
Fuck me.
Yeah. And back when I played full time, I played like 8 to 12 hours a day too. So,
Really?
mhm.
What, just on ladder, just over and over and over and over again?
Ladder or teammates or just watching replays, watching VODs. Really,
That's insane.
yeah, it's stressful too. That's why you can almost sympathize with these guys a little bit. Why they get so mad because they put so much damn time into it and they're still losing. It's so frustrating, but at the same time. But yeah,
Sorry, I'm in your party here, so.
yeah. Let's go ahead and start it. We can talk while we do this because what I want you to do here is just make a tech. Build.
Well, I'm gonna try and beat you. You got no chance, mate. You got no chance.
Another lesson. We'll do some
Do you know what?
some live.
I played a ladder game the other day, and I told the guy I was Korean, and he believed me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he went, what kind of Korean? And I went, GM. He was like, fuck! And the first attack that I threw on him, he quitted.
Yeah, he's
So
like, I
mind,
can't.
mind games on the ladder do work, don't they?
Oh sure, yeah.
I mean, I've been susceptible to them at times. I've lost a few. And when they
It's like,
talk to you too much, and you end up talking back, and then you'll
yeah.
miss pylon, and you're like, fucking bastard. He did that. He did that deliberately, and you know he did.
Yep.
Because then at the end of the game, you'd be like a platinum player, and you're like, what? You know,
Yep.
you'd be like, this is my first game. And I'd be like, no, it's not. They kind of bait you to say certain things.
Oh, yeah, whenever someone's chatty with me at the beginning of the game, I start looking for like proxy gates and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, then I'm getting 7 pulled.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just trying to distract you while you're
But fair play. It's part of the game, isn't it? It's mine.
Yeah, it is. Hey, it's
Game.
part of the meta game. I'm like, oh, okay, well that's a tell. He's probably cheesy me now. Okay, so basically you just build up to like observers and stuff, and we're gonna basically kind of replay scenarios. So I'm gonna get some stuff up first. Okay, so go ahead and send the probe out.
Get
And
it?
I'll tell you when to send him now.
Was that the state? Did I spend too long in that base then?
Oh no. We're gonna do the scenario now. So
Okay. Sorry,
So-
I'm just playing for real.
no, relax. No, we're not playing for real. Just
Sure.
relax. Build up your tech. Just get to observers. Basically, that's all you really need. Just an observer and some probes. Because we're just gonna kind kind of go through what you would need to scout. So, anyway, go ahead and send your probe in my base now. And just give a good look around.
Okay. In he comes. So harass the worker there. Yeah?
Give him a little tag, say hello, and look around the base, see if I'm
Okay.
taking my.
So at the moment, I can't see shit. All I can see is workers. And a barracks. Along with the barracks that's being built at the wall, so that's 2 racks, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a possibility of that. Also, what else could like a no gas 1 rack's opening be? Other than maybe a marine all-in, which I was kind of impersonating here.
So that was the marine all-in kind of thing?
Yep, that's a marine all-in. I would either put it in my base, I'd maybe put it at my natural, just to kind of maybe make you think I'm doing another build. So what's another build I could do off maybe just a 1 racks and no gas?
1 racks and no gas, fast expand.
Correct. So when you pop into my base and see that, those are the 2 builds you can think of. Yeah, I'm either doing a 1 racks fast expand or I'm about to all in you. If you see no gas and just 1 racks. So you can cross out builds in your head. So you go, okay, he's not going to be going, at least not, you can kind of lean toward, okay, probably not going to be going 2 racks, probably not going to be going tech. He's probably either all-inning me or expanding.
Okay.
So go ahead and
So it
send your...
literally is that black and white then. It's
Yeah.
if there's no gas, it's one of the 2, fast expand or all in.
Exactly. Otherwise, I mean, he could be teching, but again, if he techs the Banshees after he waits for your probe to die, I mean, his Banshee deck's going to be super slow. Like, yeah, he could, but it's not going to be good. So 95% of the time, when you scout no gas and 1 racks, he's doing one of those 2 options. Otherwise, he's doing a very poor imitation of a tech. Like, everything's going to be off at like a minute and a half.
So marine all in is always 2 racks?
Yeah, it's always 2 racks.
Okay.
It could be either be in my base, or I could proxy it, or I could proxy both racks outside.
So how would I know that? So if I ran into your base now and saw no gas and 1 racks
Yes.
and saw no expansion, is that when I'd be like, oh, there must be 1 proxy?
Well, you would just take that information, and when you do your follow-up scouting with your Zealot Stalker, you can confirm, like, either if I got that expo up, or you can see a bunch of Marines at my ramp, something like that. But you can kind of start preparing. It kind of gives you information, so you can start leaning toward a decision. So that's why you have to do follow-up scouting with the Zealot Stalker. So that's another reason why it's good to pro scout. That's fine, but again, that's why I usually just wait till the Zealot Stalker, because I'm probably not gonna be able to tell anyway until I get my Zealot Stalker out.
Okay.
But you can usually, it's obviously great if you can get inside the base and see the gas or not. That's gonna be a huge tell.
So if you get your Zealot Stalker out in what, maybe a minute's time after you've done that, you can't get in because they've blocked it off.
Yeah.
So you've seen no expansion. You still don't know for sure whether it's a marine all in or is it? I mean, or they could be teching behind that wall. I mean,
they could be teching. It depends on what you see. So maybe if you go up to his ramp and see like 10 Marines, yeah, you're probably getting marine all in. Or if let's say you go up to his ramp and see a bunker, like, okay, I'm probably getting teched. Or if you go and he's got an expo at his front and a bunker there, like, oh, okay, he expanded.
okay.
So you can get a lot of info, because he's going to have to reveal his hand. Like, by the time you have a Zealot and a Stalker, he's going to have 3 or 4 Marines. He can't just, like...
Otherwise you'll plow through the buildings, so...
Exactly, so he can't hide... Like, he might want to hide 3 of those Marines, or 2 of those Marines, but he's going to have to, like, bring them up. Or maybe even bring up his Marauder. And it's like, oh, okay, I know what you're doing. 2 racks. Boom.
So if you see Marauder, it's 2 racks?
Yeah, 2 racks, yeah, no doubt.
Got to be.
Yep, no, it can't be anything else. Because he's investing gas in the tech lab and the Marauder. He cannot get a factory as well in that time. So you can X out all that other stuff. And you don't have to worry about Cloak Banshees. You don't have to worry about tech. You know it's a 2 racks. It's probably an aggressive 2 racks, but it also could be to throw you off, and he could just be expanding behind it too.
What do you mean by throwing you off?
Well, he could two racks you and then not never come. So you're maybe spending all this chrono boost on your warp gate and your gateways, and you have all these units ready, and then he never comes. And then you go to his base and he's got like 3 bunkers and he's expanded.
So he could just build it just to build it without
Yep,
pushing.
build it just to build it. Maybe he feels safe doing that. Maybe he's trying to mind game you, but maybe he just wants to expand. More than likely, it's an aggressive play, but every now and again, you'll get a guy who might just push to his watchtower or just sit at the bottom of his his natural.
No, it
And
makes
spend.
sense. It makes. I mean, at my level, it's always aggressive. Always aggressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it should be. I don't think you should ever two racks and it'd be like 4 gating and just like expanding. It's like why? It's kind of like the equivalent to that. So. Okay, so let me do another early game scenario with your probe. Let me hold on. Let me cancel. Let me lift that. Get that out of the way. All right. You can go ahead and come in now with the probe. Ignore my barracks floating. You see it.
One gas and nothing else.
Okay. So what do you think? What do you think I can do with this? What are
Tech.
my options?
Tech.
Okay. Yep, different kinds of tech. So what kind of tech can I do with this?
1 racks and 1 gas.
Okay.
Don't know.
So like cloak banshees.
Really, with 1 gas, I thought you need 2 for that.
Well, yeah, but I'm not gonna put another gas up till I kill this probe that's in my base.
Okay.
So he's gonna have to get 1 gas immediately. But once I kill that worker, I'm immediately throwing up my 2nd gas because I want to get the tech as fast as possible.
Okay.
Now it also could be a 2 racks too. So if you
can
scout
cancel it, you mean?
Well, no. I mean, you're gonna need a gas for a 2 racks.
Of course, yeah.
So you could scout that, and maybe I'm waiting to kill that probe, and then I'll throw up my 2nd racks. So basically, what builds when you see a build like this with a gas opening? What builds does that remove from the equation?
What does it remove? Marine all in.
Mm-hmm.
Fast
And
expand.
correct. So you can cross those 2 out.
Okay.
So again, it helps eliminate some builds from the checklist, if you will, of builds he can do. So you can cross those 2 out. So you have a better idea to kind of process elimination. Okay, he's either doing a 2 racks or tech play. So you can already have that in your mind when you're scouting the Zealot Stalker, when you're doing your follow-up scout. And then if you get to his ramp, still don't have any information, then you're going to have to throw down a robo really quickly. Like, if I know he's 2 racksing, I can delay my robo a bit for either another gateway or just quicker gateway units. But let's say I don't see anything with my Zealot Stalker. He does a really good job hiding it, and I really don't know what he's doing. I'm going to have to get my robo a little bit earlier and get the observer out just to respect it might be a Cloak Banshee opening. And also so I can know what the hell he's doing, because that's another thing too. Like, I'm not only getting the observer for Cloak Banshees, but so I can know what to react. So if, say he's Thor rushing me, I can see that. Or let's say he's just expanding, so I can see that too. I don't have to worry anymore about an all in. So I guess the earlier you get your odds depends on the amount of information you get early on with your scout.
So against Terran, the first thing out of your robo bay is generally an observer.
Yeah, always.
Always.
Unless he's 2 racksing and he's walking toward you with a big pile of shit.
And then it's what? And then it's what?
It's immortal. You get the immortal first, because you know, like, okay, he's 2 racksing me. I need the immortal. But other than that, always get the obs. And I'm usually gonna triple obs if I think it's Cloak Banshee. So what I mean by that is send 1 obs to his base, 1 obs to my main mineral line, 1 obs to my natural mineral line.
Have you heard about the apparently it's quite a new build, the Stim Rush?
Mm-hmm.
Where they literally just fucking throw everything towards you, and the second Stim finishes, they hit you.
Sure.
Again, is that 2 racks? 3? I don't know. I've just heard about it. I've read it.
but it's generally 3. It's generally not a good build because it's depending on your opponent missing force fields. So, but I mean, it's very popular at the lower ranks because again, they get a high win rate because Protosses maybe not be as adept with their force fields, and again, if they can get through with all their stemmed bio, they're gonna kill Protoss. So, it's pretty potent if you're not prepared for it. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a gimmicky build because again, if that doesn't work, Terran's so far behind because they don't have tech. They've spent all this money. It's kind of like they four-gated you and it failed. It's kind of like the
Mm.
equivalent. So, yeah, it's just identifying that and just having good force fields and good control. Because again, that's just like a one hit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he doesn't do anything, you just win really easily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all the early builds from the early game. So now we're gonna go to um, what you would see when you have that first Zealot Stalker out. So
Mm-hmm.
let me do some remodeling here in my base.
Do you want me to do something? Do you want me to build a Zealot and a Stalker?
Yeah, you can do that if you want, or you can use the probe as well, or just you could use an observer if you want to, and pretend it's Zealot Stalker. It's whatever you want to do.
We won't take long to build them.
Yeah, just gonna build a chrono boost. It'll kind of maybe get you in the habit of it anyway.
So while I'm waiting for these, just another word on day 9.
Uh-huh.
I've kind of I think he's fantastic, but then I'm a newbie, so. But I've read like mixed things, saying like some of what he says is like a load of shit. I mean, I don't know. He's very popular, isn't he?
Yeah, I would say whatever he says is probably good. Like he was a very extremely good Brood War player. I actually competed against him in Brood War. Yeah.
Really?
He was one of the best American Zergs, and that's when we were. USA was really good at Brood War for foreigners. Now, I mean, we're not so good at SC2, and we have some good players, but we were very dominant in Brood War, and he was like one of the best Zergs, and competed for us, did World Cyber Games, did very well. So he's about as high level as it would come from a foreigner. Very good, smart, solid, hard-working player. So he's when people like say like he's not Grandmaster, well, it's total BS because he's Grandmaster and he's probably Grandmaster with all 3 of the races. So
really,
oh yeah.
Fuck.
So he you know, you can pretty much. I mean, I'm sure he's not right 100% of the time, but most of the stuff he says is probably has some like reason behind it, or it's probably right. You know, so even if it's not right on the mark, there's probably still some good.
Do you ever watch his dailies, or do you ever look at any of the stuff he says? I mean, it's very intricate, you know.
Yeah. I like watching his dailies. I don't watch them as much anymore. But I still pop in from time to time. Maybe a week, take a look at one. You know, maybe I'll get some new ideas, or maybe a different way of thinking about something. I'm like, oh, okay, I got that. But yeah, I watch it. I mean, it's good. I would never turn any way away from day 9.
Do all the pros like not just day 9, but do all the pros watch the casters? I mean, do they know more than the caster, or is it a case of that they learn from these guys, or
generally they're not going to learn from casters.
Really?
Generally, a pro's going to, you know,
the casters are learning from them.
Yeah, very little. There are some casters like Day 9 or Apollo that kind of know their stuff, but a lot of the casters not very high level, and might get a little too opinionated. So.
Fair dues. Right, I'm at your front door with a Zealot and a Stalker.
Okay, hold on. So let's hold on. Back up a little bit. Okay, so let's say you scouted with your probe. Here, back up a little bit. Just run a little bit.
Sorry.
This simple rock. So let's say with your first probe, you scouted no gas opening with 1 Rax, and then I kind of pushed you off with a Marine, and you had to run your probe away. So now you're doing a little follow-up scouting with your Zealot and Stalker. So I'll tell you when to send them. Okay, go ahead and send them. Okay.
Stop.
So, what did you scout? And it's pretty straightforward, but
Well, I saw an expansion. I ran past the bunker. No gas.
yeah, no gas. These guys don't have gas. So yeah, basically what that build was, and you can go ahead and run your stalker away if you want. I won't let the Marines kill it. So basically what that build was is just your standard 1 Rax Expo. But what you want to do instead of running by that, just poke in so you see the command center. Some maps will be easier than others, but poke in so you'll see the command center and then run away. Because as long as you confirm the command center, you know, okay, I'm not gonna get tech. I'm not gonna get 1-on-1. I'm not gonna get. You might get. I don't know about Banshee, but that early, if you saw that you scouted no gas and you saw an expand and a Rax, you know, okay, I don't have to worry about tech at all. I need to just worry about getting my probes out and focusing on my macro game.
But, if
Mhm.
I run by the bunker, right, and I can get into the base and start shooting probes, what's wrong with that?
No, don't do that. Because then what I'm gonna do is unload from my bunker, kill those 2 units, and then you lose map control.
So
You just
even
wanna,
though I kill maybe 4 or 5 workers, it's not worth it.
yeah, and that's best case scenario. There'll be times where you kill nothing and you lost 2 expensive early gateway units. And then Terran might just turn and go, oh, I'll kill him now. But yeah, you would just want to peek in, just so you see the tip of that command center. You just want to see the command center, and then run away.
So you never want to try and run by the bunker then, ever?
Yeah.
Never,
So
never. Is there ever a situation when you want to run by the bunker early on?
no.
Even 4 gate?
If you're foregating, maybe. But at the same
Because
time,
I've won games when I've ran by the bunker, but maybe it's because they're not very good players.
yeah, if you're foregating, I'd much rather you pop the bunker. Because again, if you try to run by in his base, if he has that wall, that could be really bad sandwich. Because you know, you might want to try to run in the mineral or like run up his ramp, and if he's got that wall, that's bad. Or you could try to run behind his mineral at the natural, but he could just pull up and trap you there, or you know, so you
Cool.
just want to be peeking. Again, you'll probably lose the zealot. That's a decent trade for information, but try not to lose the stalker.
Really.
Hmm.
See, for some reason I had it in my head to push with 2 stalkers, 1 zealot. Maybe
Yeah,
it was a build or that I watched on some video somewhere.
yeah, and the thing is, at that point, you don't have a lot of time to adjust to his build, so you can't really make a decision when you got 2 stalkers and zealot to make an obs, because by the time you might get the obs going, there's a cloak banshee in your base. But when it's zealot stalking, you still make the decision if you need to get an early robo to do so.
Hmm.
Alright, so let me go ahead and kill this stuff. Let's go over another scenario. Oh yeah, I can just salvage this. I'm Terran. I don't need to kill it. Alright.
Did you have a look at the core thing I told you about? Or did you forget?
No. What was that again? The
You know
core thing?
the keyboard layout that I'm using.
Oh no, I haven't. I haven't.
I'll send you the link again.
Yeah, send me the link so I can take a look at it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm interested.
It's getting very popular. There's a few pros that use it, but it's quite new. It makes sense to me, but
Sure, yeah.
I'd rather like I thought, oh, hang on, this is the way it's gonna go, so I might as well learn it from the start.
Alright, almost done. Let me move this back a little bit so you don't see it. Okay, go ahead and poke up with the Zealot Stalker.
Just waiting for my zealots. He's on his way. He's just coming around the rocks now. Good old zealots. Here he comes. Oh, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Oh, okay. Bunker and 2 things. I can't do anything.
Hmm. So what do you think are my build order
I
possible?
think it's gonna
What?
be tech. I think it's like double gas or something.
Mhm.
Maybe cloak banshee.
Yep, definitely a possibility. Definitely one of the bigger possibilities. So if you come in my base, I'll
I
let you
can't. I
in.
can't. I can't see any. I can't see any marine marauders. Oh, I can see a couple of marines there.
Yeah,
Oh, you got you.
I'm letting you in. But no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
that's
I
okay.
thought.
Just kind of take a look around what I had. Let me
Two,
just pretend
two
that's
guys.
a saturated mineral line.
Yeah, 2 guys. Yeah. What's that? Starport. Oh, 111.
Yep. So probably cloak banshee opening there. Here, I'll let you back out. But no,
So,
no, that was good. That process you were using. You were saying I don't see any marauders. I just see marines, and I guess I should have prefaced it with you scouted gas early on with your first probe. That probably would have helped you make your decision. But even if you didn't, even let's say I was playing this game and I scout this, that's very weird. Why hasn't he expanded yet? He should have an expand down. So I'm thinking he's got to be doing something tech. That's the only logical explanation.
but you
Makes
know when you
sense.
say he should have an expand down, are you like looking at the clock?
Hmm.
See,
Yeah,
that's where I struggle. I think like I don't know the times when a Terran should expand. For example,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, and that's gonna help. Like the more you play, the more this clock on that left side of your mini map's gonna be a big deal.
really.
Yep, the more timings you're gonna be comfortable with. So like when I tell like my Zerg students, for instance, when they're playing a Protoss, that Forge Fast expands, I'm like, he opens up Forge, so you're literally safe until around 7 minutes and 30 seconds because he's opening up in a defensive structure. So that's delaying his warp gate, and the earliest you can expect warp gate aggression is going to be around 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Hmm.
So you can pretty much drone to your heart's content. There might be a couple zealot or stalker that wander out. Just make a couple extra, like 6 to 8 lings, but literally trust your clock and don't worry. You can pretty much drone pretty hard until then, but try to find out what he's doing before then. But again, trust the clock. And the same thing with the cloak banshee. You don't need to put you don't really need your observer before a certain period of time. I forget the timing, but you can go 1 gate expand, robo gate, and still get your opt out on time with like 10 seconds to spare.
Hmm.
So you can still do your expand build if you get your robo super quickly, and chrono that opts out. I'm comfortable with the timing, knowing I don't have to get my robo for my expand because he can't have cloak banshees out that soon. So it's all about being comfortable with those times. I want to say it's like 7:30, but don't quote me on that. I just know from my build that if I go, 1 gate zealot stalker nexus robo, I'll still be fine. I'll still be fine. I'll get the obs out in time. And it'll
So,
be
what
no.
would your advice for me to be at the moment? What should I be practicing? Should I be holding off the game till Heart of the Swarm comes out, or should I be? Because there's no point in me kind of rehearsing build orders, is there? Because they're all going to change really, really soon.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's. I mean, I use Waves of Liberty builds in Heart of the Storm. I think it's a good I think it's a good base you can do just to get ready for Heart of the Swarm. So, I mean, I would keep playing Wings, but maybe
Would
when
you?
Heart of the Swarm comes, yeah. So I mean, now I would. Maybe when Heart of the Swarm comes out, you can make that decision. But I would say once Heart of the Swarm comes out, I would make a switch. But right now, you could play Wings, get ready mechanically, get these basic builds. Because again, 1 gate expanding against Terran is still very common to do in
Mm.
Heart of the Swarm as it was in Wings of Liberty. A lot of the some of the metagames have changed a lot, but also some of the metagames have stayed relatively the same. They just added some cool new units. so
Mm. Mm.
um, so you'll still see a benefit from still practicing Wings right now.
Mm.
So
Do you think that the tournament play will convert completely to Heart of the Swarm the second
it
it comes
should,
out?
it should, and they
Really?
are. Yeah, it should. I mean, maybe the Korean scene will stay in Wings of Liberty a little bit longer, but pretty much all the foreigners are switching, foreign like the MLGs and the IPLs. Um, think even the ESL might be switching after the last event. So pretty much probably in the first 3 months of Heart of the Swarm release, I'm sure like 95% of the tournaments will be Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, that's quite quick, that, because you never know. There might be like some really, really, really bad problems with it. You know, there might be
I,
some really imbalanced problems, like build orders that are just crazily good and
I
no one can stop them.
I agree. So I mean there's that I guess fear, but also at the same time, um, they want to showcase their new game, and a lot of the people will be playing this new game. And it'll be a lot of fun because I mean, Wings to Liberty. I was ready for a change because
Yeah,
I'm sick of the meta game.
yeah.
I think
What does
the
metagame mean? I don't understand what it...
yeah, sure, metagame's kind of the I guess it could mean two things, but it's kind of the current state of the matchup.
That's what I thought it meant, yeah.
Yeah, but also when you metagame an opponent, you're taking kind of subtle, like let's say you play this guy 5 times and you notice he likes going command center before barracks.
Mm.
So you might metagame him because you know he's going to do that, and maybe go for like a zealot, a very fast zealot stalker or something. Kind of taking aspects that you're not scouting in the game from previous games. So it can mean one of those two things.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
So it's kind of researching a player as well. And that's why the
Exactly.
Koreans are so good, because they all barcode themselves and no one knows what they do.
Exactly. That's why they do it, because of the way the Korean tournament structure works. That you spend like maybe a week or 2 weeks preparing for your GSL match or for the GSL team league, things like that. So that's why a lot of these Koreans, they got to hide their build orders because, I mean, if that's
So is
happening
that
now.
where build orders come from? Koreans?
I mean, build orders have always been kind of a common thing, but they're more like, you'll have a lot of the Korean teams. Let's say they have, I don't know, like a decent player, but he's B level team, but they might train him the entire 2 weeks, this one build to snipe a specific player.
Really?
hmm So they'll have little snipers like that, where yeah, he's not that good of a player, but he's basically practiced this build the entire week, and this build is totally manufactured to destroy this one guy's strategy.
Really?
Um, yeah, they do stuff like that. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So a lot of preparation goes into stuff like that.
Insane preparation.
Yep. So that's that'll do with the team leagues. That'll do like snipers like
Thing
that.
is, with build orders though, it's all well and good practicing, but there must be things that can happen in the game that can disrupt your build order and throw it away. Like, just a simple thing.
Yeah. I mean, some things can I mean, if you take some massive damage early on, then yeah, you're probably not going to follow the build order completely. I mean, typically I just follow the skeletons. Like I don't have like build probe at 7, build gateway at 16. I mean, I might have the first like 3 or 4 minutes like that pretty well, but I usually just I don't know. I usually just go based on like what I need. So like against Terran, I need one gate, Nexus, Robo, Gate. That's my build order. I'm not gonna have like a sheet. Now it might help to have a sheet of paper out, but I would say try to maybe stay away from that just to keep it simple. Just to kind of have that as your goal rather than saying like, okay, well I need a pylon at 27, then I need to make 2 probes, and then I need to make that could be very confusing. I would just kind of freeform it now, and just have the skeleton where you're building the gateway, you're building the nexus, then you're building a robo gate, because we're running a bit out of time here, but I'll wrap it up with this thought. Generally, you should be making probes nonstop. The only time I'm cutting probes is if I'm all inning, maybe with the 4-gate or something, or if I'm cutting probes to get a nexus out really quickly. Other than that, I'm constantly making probes while I'm doing my build, so it should work out in a certain way.
Yeah.
So as long as you're doing that and have a nice skeleton like that, I mean, that's what I would really work on. I'd really work on macro builds in each of the matchups. And then, against Terran here, kind of using what we identified here from the early game, really being active those first couple units from a comfort level you'll feel now. You're on the map with those units and seeing it. Oh yeah, and also if you're getting Marine all in, responses Chrono Stalkers out. And just work for it. Just stutter step micro to your heart's content.
Cool.
'Cause you want to what you want to do is try to beat up, like, make him earn every inch that he's going across the map with the Marines and the SCVs. So basically, by the time he gets to your base, he should be a battered, like, army. Like, all those SCVs should be in the orange, and a lot of the Marines should be in the, orange as well. So if you do have to pull your probes, it's a lot easier killing all the weakened units than becomes your base with a bunch of, like, green SCVs and Marines. So, but yeah, just try to really be active those first
Well,
couple.
I mean, the thing is, like tonight, like I'm a bit like tired because it's late here where I am. But what I'll really enjoy next time, because I'm going to book another lesson with you, is actually some live coaching.
Okay, yeah, we can
Hopefully
do that.
against the Terran, that'd be nice.
Okay, yeah, try to line that up. Or if not, we'll find. Well, you can usually find a Terran with like within 3 to 5 minutes. So yeah, we could definitely do some live coaching, and then yeah, that'd be great.
Could you have it so that like maybe someone that a Terran player would deliberately put some pressure on me early? Because that's where I suffer. I'm all right in the macro game. It's the the early game that I suffer.
Yeah, I could tell him to do, like I'll tell him to run a 2 racks on you, or maybe a Marine all in, just to kind of see how you respond. Because we could do that too. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I think that'd be good. We'll plan on that for next time. We'll do live coaching session then against Terran.
Fantastic. All right then, mate. Well, listen, really appreciate it. Thanks for all the help you give me.
Yep, not a problem, Tom, and thanks for staying up so late.
No, it's been worth it. It's been really worth it. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, you have a good evening, and yeah, just message me on Skype, and we'll figure out time for the next lesson.
Excellent. All right then. Thanks a lot. Take care.
All right, see ya.